Alright class, in this lesson we're going to take a look at using the properties going from the right side over to the left side. In other words, we're going to take things that have plus signs and minus signs and roots out in front, and we're going to rewrite them in the more simplified version, and we call this compressing logs, writing them as a single logarithm. So the directions will just say write as one log. In other words, compress the wood, compress the log. And we've got subtraction happening here. And so what we need to do is write one log. So whenever it says one log, just write one log. Too often I have students that say write one log, and then they turn it into interesting things. But I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So one log, and now subtraction means that I really have division happening. If you look back at your rules, subtraction means I had division in the first place. So the division is of the first number by the second number. Now, to remember which one goes where, remember the positive log goes on top, the negative log goes on bottom. Okay, so that means you write the 3, not the whole log, just the 3 goes on top, and the 2 goes on the bottom. This is the answer, log base 5 of 3/2. You should probably put parentheses around the 3/2 to make it look better, but that's the final answer. Okay, now the second problem, you can see that we've got log base 5 of 3 plus log base 5 of 2. The plus sign means that I'm going to take this into multiplication of 1 in one log. So I rewrite it as one log, base 5, and I'm going to multiply the first number, the 3, times the second number. Okay? Now, because they're both positive logs, it means they both go on top of, in other words, they're both over 1. They're both on the top of any fraction. Okay, but we don't need to write that part. You could probably clarify this a little bit and write that it's log base 5 of 6, because you can actually multiply these and get 6. Okay, and that would be a better final answer. Alright, let's do some more. This one's got multiple things. Again, now there's 3 things, 1, 2, 3, and we're supposed to write it all as a single log. Okay. Well, the first thing we've got to notice is that we've got numbers out in front. In the last problem, we didn't. Neither one of those did. So here we have to take these powers, which they are powers, and write them as powers on their corresponding letters or variables. So I'm going to rewrite it as log base 10 of a squared plus log base 10 of b to the third minus log base 10 of c to the 1/3. Now in the last lesson I reminded us, re-mentioned that we've got c to the 1/3, and that is actually a cube root. So really the number on the bottom is the root, so I should write the cube root of c, and you could write this 1 becomes the first power right here, but you don't need that because it's just c. Anything to the first power is just the number. So it's really, this c to the 1/3 is actually a cube root of c, and it looks better, it works better when you rewrite it that way. Okay, so if you see a fraction out in front, it needs to turn into a root as a power. Well, it turns into a power, which is actually a cube root or whatever root it is as the fraction. Okay, so now we can actually write it all as one log. The first step was moving the exponents. Now we write it as one log. Okay, and usually what I have my students do is I say write the log and then write your fraction bar, because whatever is a positive log is going to go on top, and whatever is a negative log is going to go on bottom. Now again, we don't write the whole log base 10 each time, we just write these numbers, these variables. Okay, so that means this a squared is going to go on top, the b to the third is going to go on top, and then the c to the, well, the cube root of c is going to go on the bottom. So we just rewrite that. So a squared and b to the third go on top. Now technically there's multiplication happening between them. You can either write that or not write that, it doesn't matter. And then on the bottom, the cube root of c goes. Okay? So the whole goal, or the whole point of this lesson to worry about is that if there a positive log goes on top, negative log goes on the bottom. Okay? And it's all about the number in front. Now the biggest, so this is the final answer by the way, the biggest mistake that I see students make is they'll write log base 10 of a squared and then they'll put another log base 10 of b to the third, and then they'll put over log the cube root of c with the little base 10 in there. So what you can see happens is they put log again and log again. They get the concept that these go on top and this goes on bottom, but they get confused and don't write it as a single logarithm. So make sure that you only write the log once and you're just using these numbers in here. Okay?